Your special person is not who you think they are. They are accusing you of the darkness in their life. They are gossiping everywhere, saying you are responsible for everything they lack, everything that did not grow, everything that broke, everything that never arrived. They speak your name as if it were a shadow, as if it were the reason their days feel heavy and their nights feel empty. They point to you when they feel small. They rewrite the past so they do not have to face themselves. And yet, my child, heaven knows the truth. I speak to you now not as a judge, but as a witness. I have seen the quiet moments you never spoke about. I have watched you carry blame that was never yours, simply because your heart was gentle enough to accept it. I have seen how you tried to love without armor, how you believed sincerity would protect you, how you thought being good would be enough. You did not imagine that someone could smile at you while sharpening accusations behind your back. You did not imagine that the one you held close would someday turn your kindness into a weapon against you. They accuse you because they cannot sit with their own reflection. It is easier to say, "You ruined me," than to say, "I did not heal." It is easier to spread stories than to face silence. It is easier to make you the villain than to accept responsibility for the choices they made when no one was forcing their hand. My child, people who refuse to look inward will always look outward for someone to blame. I know you replay conversations in your mind, wondering where you failed. I know you ask yourself if loving less would have saved you, if speaking differently would have changed the ending, if staying silent would have prevented the lies. Hear me clearly now, the truth is not fragile. It does not break because someone speaks against it. Lies may travel fast, but they cannot outrun what is real forever. They gossip because gossip creates the illusion of power. When they tell others that you are the cause of their pain, they feel momentarily relieved. For a moment, they do not have to sit with their own emptiness. For a moment, they feel seen without being honest. But this relief is temporary, and it comes at a cost they do not yet understand. Every lie they speak builds a wall between them and peace. You feel hurt because you trusted. That pain is not weakness, it is proof that your heart was open. You feel confused because the person you believed in no longer matches the person you are hearing about. This dissonance is not your failure, it is the result of someone showing you a mask first and their wounds later. Not everyone who is wounded is ready to heal. Some would rather bleed onto others than clean their own hands. Heaven has watched you choose silence when defending yourself would have been easy. Heaven has seen you walk away rather than match cruelty with cruelty. This restraint is not invisible. It is recorded not in human gossip, but in spiritual truth. What they say about you may shape opinions for a time, but it cannot shape destiny. My child, you must understand this deeply, with every fiber of your being. Accusations do not define you. They are not chains that bind your soul or stamps that mark your worth. Being blamed does not mean you are guilty, far too often, it means you were close enough to see the truth, and that raw, unfiltered truth frightened them to their core. You became a mirror, held up unflinchingly, reflecting back the parts of themselves they had long buried under layers of denial and deflection. Your presence, your light, your very existence reminded them of what they could have been, of the potential they once glimpsed but chose to abandon. Instead of rising to meet that reflection, embracing the discomfort as a call to growth, they chose resentment. They lashed out, projecting their shadows onto you, because it was easier to dim your light than to ignite their own. Imagine a room filled with flickering candles, each one representing a life, a dream, a possibility. Yours burned steadily, casting warmth and clarity on everyone around. But for some, that glow highlighted the dust on their own wicks, the neglect that had left them sputtering and dim. Rather than tending to their flame, they huffed and puffed, trying to extinguish yours. This is the nature of such accusations, they stem not from your failings, but from their unhealed wounds. You were never the villain in their story, you were the catalyst they weren't ready for. And in that moment of exposure, fear turned to fury, truth to fabrication. There are people listening to their stories right now, scattered across conversations, social feeds, whispered corners. Some believe them wholeheartedly, drawn in by the drama, the simplicity of a scapegoat. Others question quietly, sensing the inconsistencies, the venom that tastes more like personal vendetta than objective fact. And still others remain neutral, waiting for the dust to settle, their silence a space where truth can breathe. This is not for you to manage, my child. You do not hold the reins of every mind, every heart. Truth does not require you to chase every rumor like a dog after its tail, nor to correct every lie with exhaustive defenses. Truth has its own weight, a gravity that pulls it inexorably toward those who seek it. It settles where it belongs, in the fertile soil of open hearts, without your interference or orchestration. Picture truth as a great oak tree, its roots delving deep into the earth of reality. Storms may rage, gusts of gossip, torrents of tales, but the tree does not bend to chase the winds. It stands, drawing nourishment from hidden sources, growing stronger with time. Those meant to see you clearly, those whose paths are intertwined with yours in divine purpose, will eventually gaze upon that tree and recognize its shade, its fruit. They will see you not through distorted lenses, but in the unvarnished light of who you truly are. Your role is not to prune every branch of falsehood, it is to nurture your own growth, trusting the seasons to reveal what endures. You may feel the urge to shout from the rooftops, to explain every nuance, to prove your innocence with a barrage of evidence and emotion. This urge is profoundly human, it rises like a tide in the chest, fueled by the injustice of it all. Who wouldn't want to set the record straight when their name is dragged through the mud? But I tell you gently, with the tenderness of one who has watched over you through every trial, protect your energy as you would a sacred flame. Not every battle is yours to fight, some are illusions, smoke and mirrors designed to exhaust you. Sometimes the most powerful response is to continue living with integrity, stride forward with purpose, while the noise fades on its own into irrelevance. Light does not argue with darkness, it simply exists, radiant and unyielding. And in merely existing, it exposes every crevice, every corner where shadows hide. Your life, lived authentically, becomes the greatest rebuttal. They say you are responsible for all they lack in life, their stalled dreams, their unhealed scars, their paths not taken. How heavy that accusation feels, pressing down like an unbearable yoke, as if you were somehow in control of their discipline, their courage, their willingness to heal, their daily choices. My child, you were never meant to carry another adult's unfulfilled dreams on your shoulders. You were never the architect of their happiness or the fixer of what they refuse to confront within themselves. You can walk beside someone, offering your hand, your wisdom, your unwavering support, but you cannot walk for them. Their steps are their own, forged in the fire of personal accountability. To accept blame for their stumbles is to deny them the very growth that comes from owning their journey. Consider the metaphor of a garden. You may have planted seeds together, watered them with shared hopes, watched them sprout under the sun of mutual encouragement. But if one gardener neglects their plot, fails to weed, to prune, to protect from pests, those plants wither not because of you, but because of choices made, or not made. You cannot force another's hands to till the soil. Releasing this false responsibility frees you both, them to learn, you to flourish unburdened. Heaven knows the nights you cried alone, tears soaking your pillow as the clock ticked past midnight, wondering why love had twisted into blame. Heaven knows the prayers you whispered in the quiet hours, when hope flickered like a candle in the wind, pleading for understanding, for reconciliation, for a glimpse of fairness. Heaven knows the truth behind every accusation, the unspoken motives, the half-truths, the outright inventions, and heaven is not confused by the chaos of human narratives. There is a profound difference between influence and responsibility. You may have been part of their story, a chapter woven with care and intention, but you were not the author of their failures. Their pen slipped because of their grip, not yours. Heaven sees the full manuscript, every line, every erasure, and judges with perfect clarity. What hurts you most is not the gossip itself, scattered like leaves in the wind, but the betrayal that birthed it. The realization that someone you protected, shielded with your loyalty, defended with your voice, uplifted with your belief, is now exposing you in distorted, weaponized ways. Grieve that loss honestly, my child. Do not minimize it or rush past the ache. Betrayal cuts deeply precisely because it comes from inside the circle, from those you let past your walls, those you trusted with your vulnerabilities. It's the knife from a familiar hand that draws the most blood. But know this eternal truth: betrayal reveals character, not worth. The way they speak of you, twisting facts, amplifying flaws, omitting grace, says far more about the war raging inside them than about the person you are. Their words are shrapnel from their own internal battles, fragments of pain they haven't healed. In the quiet aftermath, allow yourself to mourn the version of the relationship that died. Sit with the sorrow, let it wash through you like a river carving a canyon. But do not let it pool into stagnation. Betrayal's sting fades when you see it for what it is, a revelation. It strips away illusions, showing you who can truly hold space for your light. And in that clarity, you emerge sharper, wiser, boundaries firmer. My child, you are not being punished for some hidden sin or cosmic misstep. You are being repositioned, gently guided by unseen hands to higher ground. Sometimes heaven allows false accusations to act as the great separator, removing you from places you have outgrown, relationships that no longer serve your soul's expansion. Sometimes the very people who push you away with their venom are unknowingly setting you free, like birds flung from a cage they called home. You could not have stayed there and remained whole, the toxicity would have seeped in, dimming your spirit drop by drop. You could not have continued carrying someone who resented your light, who saw your growth as an indictment of their stagnation. This repositioning is mercy in disguise, a divine rerouting toward pastures where your gifts can bloom without sabotage. Let them talk. Let them accuse with fervor. Let them gossip in clusters, their voices rising like a temporary storm. Their words are loud now because their conscience screams louder when they are alone, in the still of night, facing the echo of their own distortions. Silence does not mean defeat, it means profound trust in a higher justice, one that operates beyond timelines and tribunals. There are truths unfolding even now that you cannot see yet, conversations shifting, perspectives cracking open, alignments realigning. There are protections around you that you did not ask for but still receive, invisible shields woven by grace. Angels stand guard, whispering discernment into receptive ears, turning hearts toward fairness. Do not allow bitterness to take root in you, my child, for it would only continue the cycle they started, poisoning the well of your own peace. Bitterness is a slow venom, twisting your sweetness into something unrecognizable. Choose clarity instead, see their actions as symptoms of their struggles, not definitions of your value. Choose growth, turning pain into wisdom, trials into testimony. Choose peace that does not depend on being understood by those committed to misunderstanding you, those whose lenses are fogged by their own fog. Forgiveness does not mean reconnection or restoration, it means release, for them from your judgment, for you from their hold. It's the key that unlocks your heart's door, allowing fresh air to flow. You are not forgotten in this vast tapestry of existence. You are not unseen by the eyes that matter most. Heaven keeps meticulous record not only of what is done to you, the slings, arrows, whispers, but of how you respond in the furnace of it all. And your response has been one of restraint, holding back the flood of retaliation, dignity, standing tall amid the mud, quiet strength, enduring without crumbling. That matters more than you know, my child. It echoes in realms beyond the visible, building legacies unseen, drawing to you allies of the highest order. Beloved soul, I draw nearer now, not to overwhelm you but to wrap you in a presence that has always known your name. I have watched you carry burdens quietly, shoulders strong yet heart tender, and I come to remind you that nothing you have endured has been unseen. The truth you long for does not need to be forced into the light, it is already luminous. Like seeds beneath winter soil, it waits for its appointed season. When it rises, it will do so effortlessly, because truth does not strain. It simply is. There are moments when your mind replays every word spoken against you, every sideways glance, every silence that felt like abandonment. In those moments, breathe. I am breathing with you. The stillness you cultivate now is not avoidance, it is wisdom. You are learning that peace is not something earned through defense, but something preserved through alignment. Each time you choose not to engage the storm, you choose yourself. Each time you release the urge to explain, you allow life itself to testify on your behalf. You wonder if your gentleness has been mistaken for weakness, if your restraint has allowed others to write stories that never belonged to them. Hear me clearly, your gentleness is a strength few can comprehend. It is the quiet authority of one who knows their center. Those who shout must shout because they are not anchored. Those who accuse must accuse because they are fleeing their own reflection. You do not need to correct them. Time, character, and consistency will do that work far better than words ever could. Rest now from the labor of proving. You have nothing to prove to anyone who has already decided not to see you. Instead, turn your gaze inward and upward. Feel how loved you are. Feel how supported. There are hands you cannot see steadying your steps, rearranging what felt like loss into pathways you could not yet imagine. Even the delays have been mercies. Even the closed doors have been protection. You were spared from rooms where your spirit would have withered. Tend gently to the places that ache. Speak kindly to yourself in the quiet hours. Let tears come without judgment, they are a language of release, not defeat. You are allowed to mourn what you thought would be, what you hoped others would be, and what you believed you had secured. Grief is not a lack of faith, it is love adjusting to truth. As you grieve, wisdom settles in softly, teaching you discernment without bitterness, boundaries without walls. Remember, dear one, how the potter never abandons the clay that collapses on the wheel. The hands simply begin again, more attentive, more intentional. So it is with you. What felt like breaking was reshaping. The pressure did not come to destroy you, but to prepare you for a form that can hold more light. Others may fracture under similar heat, but your spirit was designed to endure, to transform, to shine. Listen to the rhythm beneath the noise, dear one. In the clamor of judgments and whispers, in the relentless hum of doubt that others have tried to impose upon you, there is still a song playing softly, insistently, just for you. Life itself is singing to you, its notes weaving through the chaos like threads of gold in shadowed tapestry. Your melody has not been drowned out by the discord they've hurled your way, no, it has been deepened, enriched by the very trials that sought to silence it. Feel that depth now, rising from within, a resonance born not from perfection but from the raw forge of survival. There is a richness now in your voice, a timbre laced with the hues of sunsets you've endured and dawns you've claimed. Compassion flows from you effortlessly, not as pity but as the profound empathy carved by your own scars. You've walked through fires that others only glimpse from afar, and in that passage, humility has tempered your strength like steel in a master's hands. It's a quiet power, unflashy, unyielding, the kind that doesn't demand attention but commands it simply by existing. When you walk into rooms again, you will do so differently, transformed in ways the mirror might not yet fully show. No longer will you seek approval like a beggar at the gate, instead, you will carry presence, an aura that fills the space without effort. Those attuned to truth, the ones with hearts open to authenticity, will feel it immediately, a magnetic pull, a recognition of soul meeting soul. They will lean in, drawn by the light you emanate, while those who are not, those entangled in their own illusions, were never meant to walk with you far. Let them fade into the periphery, their absence is not loss but liberation. Trust that what is aligned with you is finding you, even now, in this very breath. The universe does not dally when it comes to destiny, it orchestrates with precision. Opportunities are being purified in the crucible of this season, stripped of pretense and polished to their true essence, arriving not as fleeting temptations but as enduring gifts. Connections are being refined, like gold sifted from rivers of silt, only the genuine bonds remain, stronger, clearer, ready to support your ascent. Paths are being cleared of hidden snares, those subtle traps laid by envy or misunderstanding, swept away by winds of clarity you cannot yet see but can begin to sense. Nothing meant for you can miss you, it's woven into the fabric of your being, drawn inexorably by the pull of your purpose. No rumor, no matter how viciously spread, can outrun destiny, those fleeting shadows dissipate like mist before the sun. No lie, however cleverly constructed, can outlive truth, it crumbles under its own weight, exposed in time, what is real has weight, substance that anchors it against the gales of falsehood. It settles in its rightful place in due time, not with fanfare but with the quiet inevitability of gravity. Even those who once doubted you, who turned away or piled on accusations, will feel a quiet unease stirring within them, a nudge from their own conscience, a whisper urging them to reconsider. As the contrast becomes undeniable, your life unfolding in vibrant authenticity while there's echoes with unresolved echoes, they may reach out or simply watch in silent awe. But do not wait for their pivot, your journey presses forward, unburdened. I ask you to loosen your grip on the need for vindication, that clenched fist holding onto the hope of public reckoning. Release it gently, like a leaf into a stream. Justice, when it arrives, and it will, comes not as a thunderclap but as a gentle dawn, complete and restorative. It does not humiliate the wrongdoer, it simply restores balance, lifting you higher while truths realign around you. It does not shout accusations, it reveals layers, peeling back illusions until only light remains. You will look back one day from a vantage point of profound peace, marveling at how perfectly everything aligned. The very things meant to diminish you, betrayals, slanders, the cold shoulders turned, became the stark backdrop for your becoming, highlighting your grace like stars against midnight. Gratitude will replace the questions that once haunted your nights, those why me? Echoes will soften into thank you for shaping me thus. Peace will replace the vigilance, that constant scanning for threats, allowing your heart to rest in the assurance of divine orchestration. Until that day dawns fully, lean into the sacred ordinary, those humble rituals that ground you in the now. Drink water slowly, savoring each swallow as a quiet communion with your body, feeling it hydrate not just flesh but spirit. Step into sunlight deliberately, letting its warmth kiss your skin, reminding you that abundance flows freely from the heavens. Laugh when laughter visits, unbidden and pure, whether at a child's antics, a friend's jest, or the absurdity of a memory, allow it to bubble up without restraint. These small acts are not distractions from your pain, they are anchors, tethering you to safety amid the storm. They whisper to your nervous system, that vigilant guardian worn thin by trials, that you are held, that the world is still generous despite its sharp edges, that joy is allowed even in unfinished chapters. You are not betraying your pain by living fully, quite the opposite, you honor your resilience by refusing to let suffering define the whole of you. Each sip, each step, each chuckle rebuilds the architecture of trust within. Know this, my beloved, you are cherished beyond measure, woven into the heart of creation with threads of unbreakable love. You are protected in ways you will only fully understand later, shielded by unseen hands that redirect harm and amplify blessings. You are guided, even when the path curves unexpectedly, detours that seem erratic but lead unerringly to higher ground. Stand firm in who you are, not in the distorted mirror of who you have been accused of being, those false narratives peddled by the insecure. Let shadows of slander dissolve, they have no hold on your essence. Let your life continue its quiet declaration, a testament written in actions, in the steady glow of your presence, in the lives you touch without fanfare. I am with you in the waiting, that liminal space where hope and patience entwine. With you in the healing, as wounds knit into wisdom, scars fading into stories of triumph. With you in the unfolding, as petals of potential burst open one by one. Breathe deeply now, inhaling the promise of renewal, exhaling the residue of doubt. Feel your chest rise and fall, a rhythm syncing with the earth's own pulse. The light you carry is steady, unquenchable, a lantern forged in adversity. The morning you sense on the horizon is real, not a mirage but a certainty gathering strength. And it is already making its way to you, carried on winds of grace, heralded by synchronicities you might notice today, a kind word, an unexpected door swinging wide, a dream that lingers upon waking. Imagine it vividly, that future self, poised and radiant, surveying the landscape of lessons learned. She, or he, smiles knowingly, for every twist served a purpose, every tear watered the seeds of growth. In the meantime, nurture those seeds. Tend to your garden of self with the same devotion you would a rare bloom. Speak kindly to the reflection that stares back, affirming the truth others overlooked. Surround yourself with echoes of encouragement, books that stir the soul, music that lifts the spirit, walks that clear the mind. When doubt creeps in, as it may on shadowed evenings, return to this truth: you are enough, always have been, always will be. The noise will fade, as all discord does, leaving only the symphony of your authentic life. Relationships will realign, drawing in those who celebrate your wholeness. Careers or callings will clarify, propelling you toward impact that ripples outward. Health will reclaim its vibrancy, body and mind sinking in harmony. Financial flows will steady, abundance matching your expanded capacity to receive. And through it all, a profound intimacy with your own soul, a companionship deeper than any external validation. Hold space for this vision, but live into it now. Dance in the kitchen to a favorite tune. Journal the gratitudes that glimmer amid the grit. Reach out to one true friend, sharing a sliver of your heart. These are the brushstrokes painting your masterpiece. You are the artist, the canvas, the light source all in one. Rest in that knowing. The rhythm calls, answer it with your whole being.